And you welcome back to UPfront. My name is Raymond Akwa. My guest, the Honorable Benjamin Bodo, is with me still. In the first part of the conversation, we sought to unravel exactly what sits behind this NDC leak tape as the police is seeking the man, the national chairman of the party, in its offices by 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Already the party has served notice he will not go alone. He would actually have a bunch of people following him to the police headquarters. That's what we've been talking about, and what the comments mean. What it means for the invitation to be extended to this particular gentleman, who is perhaps the highest officer in the NDC as we speak today. But now, President Akufo-Addo last week delivered the State of the Nation's address. That address spent a huge amount of time on what is happening in the economy. In fact, he actually used rebase figures to make the point that the economy has been improving from 3.4% in 2016 to 8.1% in 2017, and actually projected what's likely to be the case in 2018. That is, for the first 3 quarters, we're looking at 6%. The president's of the opinion that this makes Ghana's GDP growth over the period one of the highest in the world. He also talked about why FDI inflows, Ghana is leading on the West African continent. He also made the reference that all of this are happening because of better management of the economy. Honorable Bodo, did the president put the facts right? And was he spot on when he said the economy is being managed now far better and at the time that you and the NDC was in power?
On the contrary, the issue is when an economy is being properly managed, you feel it. But I do not think that is what's happening now. Indeed, the president conveniently avoided one of the most critical issues of the time regarding the economy.
Which is it?
Which is the falling value of the Ghana cedi. Drastic.
That's perennial, isn't it?
It's not perennial.
Really?
The sudden fall within this year alone
it's not cyclical.
is astonishing. It's astonishing.
I see.
Because from your own report, your business report today,
okay,
the dollar is 5 cedis, 49 pesos. From, let's go back to 2016, where the NDC left off. The closing value of the dollar, which I have in the Bank of Ghana report for 2017, is 4 cedis, 18 pesos.
418.
Yes, 4 cedis, 18 pesos to the dollar.
Okay.
Yes. And now it is 5 cedis, 49 pesos. What does that do to the economy? You realize that in spite of what the president is saying, our economy is heavily import dependent. So if we use dollars to buy our imports, both capital and consumption items from abroad, and there is such a sharp depreciation in the value of the cedi, it throws everything out of gear. If you go to Abose Okai now, that is their complaint.
Yeah.
Their complaint is that the dollar has so risen against the cedi that people are not even patronizing their products. And you know, when you go to the ports, their duties are also computed using the dollar rate. So you pay a high duty over there. You buy the dollar, the principal amount you are going to use to import, you buy it in dollars. You use the cedis to buy the dollars, and the rate is so high. So already you are suffering from two ends, because when you bring in the goods, again the duty is computed in dollars. That is what they are complaining about. These were the people to whom you pledged that you were going to bring down the value of the dollar and that they will do a lot of good business. And they are the people who are saying it. Let me give you a very simple scenario. If you borrowed 10,000, let's go to Abose Okai. A trader borrows 10,000 Ghana cedis.
Okay.
At that time, he would convert it and get 2,392 United States dollars. But today, he will use the same amount and get only 1,818 United States dollars. So he has lost a whopping $574.
That's serious.
So, yes. So when the government is saying that we have brought interest rates down, this have to do with money. Interest rates and exchange rate have to do with money. Now, in that same period, if the Abossey Okai trader borrowed that $10,000 fully, he was going to, let's for purposes of argument, use the monetary policy rate of 25.5%. It means his interest would be $2,550. Now the government is saying, the president has said that, oh, monetary policy rate has come down to 16%. Those are some of the figures you are quoting.
Yeah.
Now, it means that for purposes of argument, that 10,000 borrowed amount will attract interest rate of 1,600 cedis.
Okay.
Fine. That means you have paid a lower interest of 950 Ghana cedis. That is okay. The interest amount has reduced. But would you prefer to pay 950 cedis to losing 574 US dollars?
That's an interesting dynamic.
Yes, $574 you are losing. Okay. And you are gaining only 950 Ghana cedis interest reduction. So I'm sure that he would prefer to gain $2,392 from his 10,000 rather than to get 1,818. You see? So we cannot say that the economy is being managed properly.
Just and remember, because of the exchange rate.
The exchange rate affects so many things. It affects fuel prices. It affects consumer prices. It affects prices of capital goods imported for productive activities.
Okay.
When we are rather shouting that we are moving from taxation to production, and we have caused the economy to impose higher prices on imported capital goods, equipment for production. How are you going to proceed with your production? So I want to juxtapose all of these rates, rates being quoted around, the reduction in this, reduction in that. The bottom line is, how is the trader feeling this? How is the ordinary consumer feeling this? Now again, the government has quoted lower debt to GDP ratios.
Using rebased figures, yes, and also
yes,
the GDP.
This government has been complaining. If you talk to many of our colleagues, the economists, they say that, oh, we have just been here 2 years and you say we have not done much. We have been here only 2 years. If you have been here only 2 years, what did you add to the GDP, which was 168 at the time that you were living, to make it come to 290? No.
Oh, okay.
It's now 290. 298 nominal GDP, 298 billion nominal GDP. Non-oil nominal GDP is 285 or roughly 286 billion. So the rebasing done within this 2-year period has added such a huge sum to it. And that has led to the reduction in the GDP. I'll give you a commentary by an economist on the present state of our debt. Okay. You know, now we have 172.9 Ghana cedis as our debt, public debt. And we are using the rebased figures to hide the impact of the debt on the economy.
Okay.
First of all, interest amount.
But to be
interest
fair,
amount has moved from 14 billion to 18 billion. So now our interest payments have come up by 4 billion Ghana cedis.
Okay.
Which otherwise could have been doing a lot. Then we claim that the debt to GDP ratio has come down to 54.3% of GDP. What does that mean to us? The rebate, you know, when you are working out ratios,
okay,
you look at the numerator and the denominator. So you have a high figure of 172. Then you manage to rebase to 298. You have a lower debt to GDP ratio.
That's it.
But that doesn't reduce the quantum of debt that we have. And doesn't reduce the amount of interest which we annually have to commit towards interest payment from the budget.
But to be fair,
so these are affecting our economy.
Fair, this also
now,
affects
wait, let me learn.
Debt to GDP for 2016, for example. Instead of quoting the 73 or 70% that was actually purported earlier at a factual at that time, we are quoting way lower figures for 2016 to
56.6.
56%.
56.6, based on the 204.
Yes.
But now it has gone far higher than that. So you may be even looking at lower figures. You may be looking at lower figures. But you see, the important point you need to note is that how does this impact on our annual budget? We have borrowed over 50 billion, mainly to partly refinance and for consumption. This is our problem. We are not investing. And the current problem the city is facing is also compounding the problem. You see, because people are taking their dollar investments out of the country as a result of another policy which the government is pursuing. So when you look at all of these things, you find out that the entire economy is not being managed properly. I'm using these different aspects of the economy to show to you that what they claim is being done properly isn't. Because if we are forcing policy rates downwards, as I said earlier, it was 25.5%.
Now 60%.
And now it is 16. Now, you see, foreigners come down here to invest in the economy on the understanding that they are going to reap good returns.
Yeah.
Now, you keep on lowering the treasury bill rate, is 14%, now below the monetary policy rate. So I, as a reasonable investor, I will send my money out where I think I can get a better return. In the US market, rates are going up, interest rates are going up. So they are attracting investors from our country. And we are sitting down busily just reducing policy rate, in reducing treasury bill rate.
That's counterproductive, you mean? The reduction in the policy rate is actually counterproductive.
Yes, it is, because it is scaring away investors. Because they bring their money in US dollars.
It's not appetizing, it's not attractive for people to come in. Yeah.
People bring their money in dollars, put it in the banks, and that helps the banks to increase their hold of foreign currency.
Okay.
Now, if they find that these are not attractive, what they will do is to get back the dollars they brought in and send it to another financial market where they will make gains. You get the point. So that is what is happening, and the dollar is running in short supply, and then the rate is flopping every day. Okay. So when you put all of this together, the interest policy, the interest rate policy, the foreign currency market policies, and all these rates that they are mentioning, you come to a conclusion that the economy, rather than the figures being quoted, are not good. The fundamentals are not right. And like the former running mate, now vice president, said, if the fundamentals are not good, what will expose you? The rate will expose you. So the exchange rate is exposing us. Like, they are just running like kangaroo. No, that's Australian animal.
Yes, of course.
Today it is 5 cities. The next day is 5 cities, 10 pesos. The next day is 5 cities, 30 pesos. Today, your business report showed that it is 5 cities, 49 pesos. Who knows where it is going next? And it affects planning.
Yeah.
Yes, you cannot plan for your business activities. You cannot even know what the market is going to do to you tomorrow. Should I sell this glass of water today? Will I get the replacement value to be able to buy stock to replace what I've sold? These are the problems. So businesses are running down, and it's affecting employment. The people interviewed at Abose can say, you know, they are informal people, but they normally get people to sit with them, sell, carry the goods out, and so on and so forth. They are saying that they will have to lay off some of these people. If the small-scale enterprises do that, what will happen to the big-time companies?
It's interesting.
So these are issues which show clearly that the economy has problems. We cannot depend on rhetorics by the president to say that the economy is being managed well. No. And why did he not attempt in even one sentence to address the depreciation of the value of the cedi? You are coming to talk to Ghanaians about the state of the economy. And all of us are seeing on the day that you arrived that the dollar has drastically overpowered. It broke jail from the IGP's security room. It broke jail. Why can't you mention even one word about it? The whole document is here. You read it from page to page. There is not a single word regarding the value of the cedi. Why? Is that for convenience? Or he has no clue? Yes, because you needed to tell us that this is the situation. Okay. And this is what we will do or we are doing to rescue the situation. But he never mentioned it. It means he has no clue. If he talks about it, he will not have an answer to the solution to the problem.
Next week is 6th March. If for nothing at all, you should be impressed that the President of the Republic of Ghana is saying that we are taking the celebration of this day to the Tamale municipality. This is novel, isn't it?
Yes, indeed.
Mm-hmm. But you've made this point before.
Yes.
I mean, some 6 or so years ago, and maybe tomorrow is actually 28, on the 28th of February, you actually made this point in Parliament. How different is your point that we should rotate the celebration of this day from city to city for what this government seeks to implement today?
I think I can have some kind words for the president, mm-hmm. But I don't know the basis for his decision. And I cannot say exactly whether what I envisaged is what he's implementing. But the fact of the matter is that, for once, he is taking the independence celebration from Accra to Tamale, a regional capital. Indeed, I made this suggestion on the 28th of February, 2013, with the motive that when we rotate it, we do not just assemble school children and various groups to mark around and salute in the sun and go away, but that the government should focus on a major developmental project in the city which is hosting it.
Okay.
So that if it is a road network, if it is a major building, it could be named after that year's. Like, for instance, I cited the example on that day that if we could do the dual carriage road from Soko-de Etwe through University of Health and Allied Sciences to enter into a Aflau Road, then we can describe it as 20-something Independence Avenue.
Okay.
Then people will have very good memories about that year's celebration. So I can encourage the president to go beyond just naming Tamale, but that in subsequent years, they should continue to rotate. Subsequent years, they should make financial allocations to the particular cities which are going to host the celebration.
This is wonderful. I hope they take it up. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us on today's edition of UPfront. My guest has been the Honorable Benjamin Podo.